where I live for the evening war report. We went in on the ground today and we found rocket launches by an amusement park in Gaza near a Ferris wheel. And it also had connecting tunnels. And there was a lot of intel weapons with it that I believe we took or destroyed. I think we took them. And the tunnel entrances were destroyed. And there also was another incident at a university, same thing, rocket launches over there, and they were destroyed. They launched a bunch of rockets at us from Gaza, I believe, and they all fell in the sea. They were shooting for one of the cities. So it's a possibility that the high quality missiles are running out and they were using low grade, or maybe they're going to try to manufacture more missiles of a high grade. We don't know yet. It could be they still have high grade missiles and just this particular launch was low grade missiles. We don't have enough intel yet to understand what happened. The ground fighting is fierce. We're making progress. Every time we get tunnel entrances and blow them up, it makes it harder for them. Every time we find the weapons depot, it makes it harder for them. There's been instances where they blow something up and there's a lot of secondary explosions, which means they're hitting weapons storage facility. They got RPGs, and when our tanks are in the streets, they try to shoot the tanks with RPGs. Hezbollah is bragging about how they're taking the strain of the load off of Gaza by giving us these attacks up in the north, causing us to deploy more assets to the north. I don't think that holds water, but that's what they're saying. Syria's been very quiet. The American bases, as far as I know, is still getting hit. They said something about we would release the foreign hostages in Gaza with Hamas, but something like because of the ground operation, we're unable to do it and stuff like that. Iraq sent supplies to go into Gaza, which included fuel, and I don't believe fuel's going to be going into Gaza. I'm thinking what else is going on. It's pretty much a continuation with slow progress. Casualties are not being reported yet. Usually they wait till the families are notified, but I don't know if we've even had any. Rockets still come at a unfortunate, rate they're keeping it up. It's just a matter of time, we keep whittling away more tunnel entrances and more rocket launches, but we don't know how many rocket launches they have secreted in places, civilian areas around Gaza. We really don't know. There's some morons out there publishing stories about the Ben Gurion Canal. This is an old project that was something when the Suez Canal had a lot of problems. And there was, delays in shipping, and there were many years ago it was closed for several years and stuff like that. So they're saying that we need to, mess up Gaza, and then we could run the canal and make a lot of money every year for tariff for traversing the canal. I think that's absurd. First of all, the Suez Canal has been operating rather well. I don't see any signs of it getting closed. The Houthi rebels attacking the Suez Canal is something you'd have to look at this and say, is that what this is about? But it would be a lot easier, cheaper, and faster to take out the Houthis than it would to spend years building a Suez Canal, which would eventually open up into the Red Sea or someplace, and that possibly could cause an attack. You know, you're still going to have an exit from the canal would go from the Mediterranean to the Red Sea. Then if you were going to go down to the, out into this Arabian Sea or Sea of Oman, whatever they call it down there where the Red Sea is at the bottom, you would still have the problem from the Houthis. So I think this is just some moron anti-Israel, anti-Semitic people that are saying that's what this is about. You got to remember, Gaza started firing rockets at us. We didn't just decide to go invade them. I really don't see this at all. And the other lack of logic is you could do this when Gaza was, well, they wouldn't allow it. So I don't seem to see it. They keep telling us this is going to be a long war, months or years, and prophetically, that's never going to happen. When you read Zechariah 12, you got to take note, not only is the democracy and the IDF of Israel not in Zechariah 12 at all. The Americans aren't there either. So when it says in Jeremiah, which I've covered in the past, Americans are going to run away. Jeremiah 50:51, they're already gone before Zechariah 12, which makes me believe the two witnesses again are operating way before Zechariah 12, or way before would be weeks or months. There are fruit shortages intermittently here. I think that's because the fruit pickers are Gazan and they're not allowed to work in Israel. We had more Gazan workers detained that we returned back to Gaza, I think, yesterday. It came out that these so-called Gazan workers were spying for Hamas, which they were probably compelled to do. Maybe, or maybe they just got compensated, or who knows what, but they were. So that's not going to happen anymore. So even if they rebuild Gaza, they're going to have to figure out how they're going to get a Gazan economy working again. It doesn't make sense. America still has done nothing aggressively. That we know of, what else is going on? It's a bad gunfights down there. I've seen some videos. They're on my Telegram. You download Telegram Messenger, which is a free app, and then you send me an email. My email address is israelgiving with the number 7 at Gmail. Israelgiving, one word, with the number 7 at Gmail. And that email address is also posted at the bottom of the description box. I believe it's the last line down. And just send me an email with the subject header saying Telegram, and I'll send you the invite link to that Telegram channel I have. And you'll get, a good 100 or 200 updates a day. So if you really want to follow the war closely, that's where you can do it best. It's best over there. More anti-Semitism around the world. There's various lone wolf attacks popping up in Israel where they attack a soldier or a policeman or somebody, and it's pretty sporadic and light. They just about always get killed, and occasionally they do injure their target victim. The Houthis, I think, had some missiles that failed. Well, it might have been the Houthis that had the. No, I don't think it was the Houthis. I don't know. They're not doing well either. Missiles are not hitting. Let's see. So the fighting is gruesome. That you have to understand. When you look at the videos, it's rough. Tanks are in the street, and then a dozen or so of these characters come out from the ground in the tunnels, and they're immersed inside buildings, and they're shooting at the tanks and trying to hit it with an RPG or some other anti-tank missile they have. It's bad. It's not. It's not good. The morale of people is, I'd say, under the circumstances, pretty good. 32 days of rockets now. It's pretty bad. We've had this before, but not as bad as this. We're all over Gaza City now, which is the seat of them. And they're going to be going in to their tunnel network or blowing it up. But it's underneath some hospitals, and they're working on getting at that. As far as I know, humanitarian aid is still coming in once a day. Trucks go in they go into the south. More people have been leaving Gaza going to the south, but it's not a massive amount based on the videos. Nothing from the American fleet. I mean, they're there, but we don't know what's going on. I don't think Blinken did very much with his trip. The Houthis did threaten Saudi because they took a missile down the other day, but we haven't seen anything happen. The Americans may have warned the Houthis not to try that, or the Saudis may have warned them. I don't know what's going on. The Houthis are staying low key. They're pushing missiles every now and then that pretty much all fail. I haven't seen or heard of anything going into a lot in a long time. Iran is, still crotchety and belly aching, but we haven't seen anything come from them. So, I mean, it's basically more of the same, and every day we make more and more progress. So we keep pushing ahead and clearing out terrorists. They keep trying to engage us, and they generally get destroyed. They don't make it. There's rumors that we have hundreds of soldiers from Hamas that we have. I guess is something resembling a prisoner of war or something like that. But I'm not getting that from reputable sources, and the IDF isn't talking about that one way or the other, but I'm quite sure we have some prisoners. And prisoners mean you're going to get intel, and the intel means you're going to get more accurate bombing strikes, missile strikes, and the ground guys are going to know more where to target. And they're getting intel from places they're targeting. They get reports, records, plans, paperwork and stuff like that from them. And they keep recovering weapons. And the frustration is we don't know how many missiles and rockets they have or what kind of weapons they have stored. We really can't figure it out, yet. I'm sure the IDF has some, ideas in their minds that what they think is going on, and they might have it very accurate, but it's not being released, and we're just in the dark. When are the rockets going to stop? And as I said, before, I believe that the Lord had enough of this, and it's going to get shut down by Him. It's a long story, but it's continuing and continuing and continuing. And Ashdod and Ashkelon have been pretty well devastated, and parts of the south of Israel have been. And people in Israel are starting to talk. We're not going to go back to the south unless Israel's occupying Gaza, and the people in the north don't want to go back because of Hezbollah. The government is putting them in hotels and Airbnbs in places, in different places, and they're paying the bill for that, and they're giving them some stipend. But if they don't have other money or other resources, the stipend would keep them eating, but they're not going to eat well, you know. They'll get by. Let's put it that way. Most people are still working. Commerce is going on. Deliveries are happening. Trucks are all over the place. Buses are running. The stores are doing pretty good with having things that you need. It's like I was trying to buy paper plates, which here mostly means plastic plates. And, they didn't have bowls one day, they just had plates. And I usually feed the dogs in the throwaway bowl. So then I think 1 or 2 days later, the bowls were back in stock. So it runs like that. Stuff's missing. They don't have it in stock for 1 or 2, maybe even 3 days, and then they have it in stock. So, it's not, and it's not that much, They're out of a certain kind of paper towel I use, and then 1 or 2, usually 2 days later or so, it's back in stock. So it's not that serious. It's just not that bad. Meats are abundant, good prices. Fish is abundant, good prices. Vegetables are easy. There's plenty of vegetables. We bought some plums the other day, and they were sitting out for, I think, 3 days, and they're still hard and they're not very good, They work, Bought some oranges, they're not very good. But that happens regular, too. That's a standard operating procedure. The supermarkets like to buy the lower grade fruit and vegetables because they could be sold cheaper, and the people like that because it's cheap, but it doesn't taste so great anyway. That's basically it. I mean, the people in my area are active, running about, A lot of concern with the Shamron, the neighborhood watch, which are armed, protecting the various communities. People are listening to what they have to say and things of that nature. I don't think FedEx is running yet. I think, I know UPS and DHL and the post office are running. I don't think FedEx is running. Okay. I just don't think so. I don't know why they don't want to, but the deliveries from Amazon seem to be getting back to probably close to normal and normal. I don't know about eBay, but last I checked eBay, I didn't buy anything, but I checked. They were shipping, but with the eBay shipping, I think people that are selling on eBay can elect to use the post office if they want, and that's definitely running. In most of the country, the schools are operating, universities operating, people are going to work, There's all kinds of programs. If you're in the areas where you had to evacuate, they're suspending payments of a lot of bills like mortgages and things like this are going on, trying to help the people out. My bank called me the other day and asked me, I wonder if we had any problems or something, and they said, no, we're just calling to see if there's anything we can do for you. Do you need anything? And that's all they. So they're trying to, help. probably trying to loan money to you or something like that, you know. What else do I have? The anti-Semitism around the world is still going on, and the pro-Israel sentiments are still going on. I think a lot of people are calming down and, oh, the war in Israel, that's old hat, and they're looking at other things. But people in America, you know, the limited contact I have is that the Jews are nervous and scared. I heard a story of, you know, well, they don't want to be in synagogues. They don't want to be associated with the Jewish places and stuff like that. I cautioned the people this morning. I said, look, if there's protests that are pro-Hamas, just stay away from it because they can flare up and get, you know, push people or knock somebody down or something. You know, they're not going to shoot you at this stage. We don't see anything like that with it, but stay away. Usually if you see a mob, you know, protesting, you want to be 1 block away is a little bit too close. 2 blocks, you're probably okay, you know. But don't be there because people that oppose them, they'll, you know, they could get violent with them. And a lot of protest groups are that way. So don't be around, you know. If you see it, take off. If you're in a restaurant or coffee shop and you see it come and check out and, you know, walk very briskly. When you get about 2 blocks away, you should be pretty much okay. 1 block is pretty good, but if you're at 2 blocks, you're okay, usually. They don't spread out that much, you know. So far, I haven't seen them wrecking stores and breaking in and looting, but it could happen. They're boycotting some stores. They've attacked some stores that are selling Israeli goods and this kind of stuff, but it's not profound. But you don't know, you know. Nasrallah's cooking up another speech in a few days, but who knows what it's probably going to be lay another egg, you know. And that's basically it, I guess. If there was anything really more significant to report, I would, but it's again a continuation. And it's steady progress, slow progress, but steady progress. The resistance could be fierce. I've seen videos, you know. These guys are trying to snipe at the soldiers. The soldiers got to worry about IEDs, improvised explosive devices. They got to worry about RPGs, other kinds of missiles that could be shot at tanks, shoulder fired. And the IDF is stumbling onto rocket launches when they come on to them. A lot of them are like, you know, 10 or 12 tubes. I didn't count them, but it's a bunch. And they launch all the tubes off, and that, of course, is what we call a barrage. You know, that's how they do it. But the IDF is knocking them down, and I watched to see if we're getting a significant reduction. Not so far. It's not as bad as it used to be, but it's far from good. It's bad. And, you know, we'll eventually, you know, you're going to get enough of these rocket launches. I don't think they have 100 rocket launches buried in pits and on rooftops hiding in buildings and stuff. I don't know how many they have, but I don't think it's that many. But I could be wrong. I don't know. So they're picking them off. They're closing in on all sides from Gaza. The ground soldiers, when they have contact with the Hamas out on the street, or the Hamas is in a building or something, they call in strikes from the Navy, which throws missiles at the exact location, or they call the jets in that are overhead, and they either rocket attack or bomb that location, and generally the terrorists don't make it. Now then the soldiers go in to the debris, and then they often find intel, and they have had instances where a substantial amount of secondary explosions. So there's an ammo depot of some sort that got blown up. So we're well aware of the fact that these rocket launches are in civilian locations, like an amusement park with a big Ferris wheel. Now, normally we wouldn't think in our mindset that, oh, there's rocket launches there, but that's how Hamas thinks. Hospitals, schools, this type of thing. So now we're on to the program, and we're getting them. And tunnel entrances are being closed up. So it's like a slow death for Hamas. So I cover all this about what the outcome would be and all that on Telegram, and that's where you'll get that. It's a more appropriate venue, and you'll get videos and you'll get photos, and you get the updates from the IDF. And I scour social media from Arabic and Hebrew and translate it and put it up. I'm very, very careful with what I'm picking up from the Arab media because they have so much propaganda to spew forth that's not real, you know. So we're just getting another rocket attack now. So they still have rocket launchers, and we're still looking for them. And yeah, I would say it's a matter of time, and they'll be diminishing the number of rocket launches. The rockets are probably stored underground in a tunnel network someplace. When they set up a rocket launcher, they probably bring, 1 or 2 dozen rockets up there with it. But when you get rid of the launchers, then you get rid of the problem, unless they're able to construct new launches underground, which all these things we don't know yet. Now we probably have had intel from captured Hamas operatives about what's going on, but you don't know how real that is, and the intel, after a week or so can change. So we're about to hit one of these big Hamas nerve centers, one of their larger command posts, which is supposed to be under Shifa Hospital. I don't know exactly what they're doing now to get in, but they're working on it avidly. And I don't think it's going to be revolutionary because I think the Hamas probably knows it's coming and already relocated to a different place in the tunnels. But it'll be a very bad inconvenience for them, and it'll be unsettling to their operations. Every now and then, occasionally, we get a big shot in Hamas and he gets destroyed. It used to be frequent, but we got so many of them, it's not that frequent anymore. But as you and I both know, they just promote the underling up into the office, and so the story goes. But it does cause disruption because then you have old school that used to agree with each other, the leaders of the different departments, and then some of them are gone and new ones come in, and then there could be disagreements, and the new ones don't know the flow of things, and blah, blah, blah. Maybe, I don't know. But, all right, that's it. So I send my shalom to all those who love Yeshua HaMashiach. Pray for me. I've been getting stomach aches. Pray that I get healed up, if you would. And pray for me and my wife, Rivka. I'm Moshe. She's Rivka. Pray for the animals and pets. They'd be happy, healthy, and whole. And pray that we don't have to go to the bomb shelters. And that's it. I appreciate the prayers a lot. Thank you for the offerings also. Offering information is in the description box under the video. And I'll keep updating. Okay? Thanks.